Welcome back to another episode of Field Ops with Friends, where you may notice we're slightly not where we left off in the last episode. That's because I embarrassingly jumped up here from down there, and I didn't know what I was doing, and it was embarrassing. I didn't want you guys to see it. So we're up here now. It's fine. It's fine. You didn't miss anything. It's all good.
You also could have just told him you did the puzzle in the room.
That would have been the smart thing to do. Wait, hang on.
Yeah.
I'm not crazy, right? That does have a thing. Cordite. What does Cordite need? Power, super missiles?
Only one way to find out.
Hey, yo.
That's right. Check your logbook. Oh, okay.
Oh. Does the logbook really tell you?
Yeah.
Wow.
Once you get the thing that breaks it, it says, this is really effective against these materials.
Oh. So you're not just supposed to, like, trial and error the shit out of it.
I mean, you can.
I'm a testament to that.
No, the scan visor is how you learn things in this game.
What's a scan visor?
It's a movement system.
Spoken like a true speedrunner. Oh, man. I have so many questions about how Metroid Prime 2 does it, but like if people like this and they want to see more of this, then I'm totally down for Metroid Prime 2, and so I kind of want to save it for that.
Not be as knowledgeable or good at Metroid Prime 2, but probably more than the average person.
Oh, I can guarantee you're more knowledgeable than the average person at any Metroid game, really.
Definitely more than you. But
Well, that's a low bar, my dude.
I know. That's why I use it.
Thank you. I can't even do pull-ups on the bar. It's pretty terrible. So this boss, I hate this boss.
How come?
Because it takes forever. And I hate that he flashbangs you whenever you deal damage to him. It's way better with the plasma beam, but...
And power bombs.
And power bombs, that's true. I still find wild that power bombs even work.
Bombs are effective, though.
I do actually really like... I know this is kind of a strange thing to like, but I actually really like how whenever you scan a boss, it takes longer to scan them.
There's a lot more going on there.
Yeah, it's like it pulls up the things on the side, and it's like you're actually scanning something and taking like a detailed report of it. There's something about that I really, really like. Thardus, an animated sentient creature of stone charged with phase-on radiation. Phase-on radiation given off by Thardus negates auto-targeting systems, preventing lock-on. It may be possible to acquire alternate targets with a different visor. The chaotic nature of phase-on radiation leads to instability and structural integrity. Can encase targets in ice, and its colossal size and strength make it a formidable opponent. I'm well aware of that. Ow.
Just bumps you a lot.
Haha. So, can you use missiles against this guy? Yep. I never really thought to try. I assume you can't with... Well, can you do missiles when in thermal visor?
Yes, you can.
Or let me rephrase. Are they effective against him?
They do normal damage.
Okay. Maybe I should have gotten some missiles before I came in here.
If they hit.
Okay, look. Oh, God, see what I mean about the flashbang?
It just got hot.
Is that what that is?
Yes, when a thermal visor goes very orange and red, it means it is very hot. And when it is dark purple and blue, it means it is cold.
So, have you ever seen or used a proper thermal visor?
Absolutely not.
They're wild. White hot and black hot
I think
common.
I've seen them. I think I've seen them on some shows.
They're really cool, and the tech behind how they work is fascinating.
Yeah, I don't fully understand it.
Yeah, I don't either. It's kind of like I don't know if you've ever worn night vision goggles, which if you had, I'd be surprised because that's a very odd thing to have done. But the way that those work is they have like these little red infrared things, and like it enhances the absorption of light, and stuff's wild. They're really cool looking though, but they're they're terrifying to like see someone with them on because you get like these red dots all over them, and it's like, what is that? It's like some alien tech. It's wild.
I had never even fired a gun until I was over 30.
That's fair. I'm trying to think how old I was when I fired my first gun. I was not as young as you would expect, given the fact that I live in West Virginia.
I grew up in Texas, and it wasn't even in Texas.
Oh, well, touche. What is he doing? Oh,
He's powering up.
I think the first gun I fired was the first gun I bought, so I didn't have any like firearms training before I purchased a gun.
That sounds smart.
I am a big advocate for weapons safety, so that's why I never really wanted to mess with anyone else's gun. I wanted it to be mine, because I'm a control freak like that. See what I mean about how long this boss takes? I mean, it would take less time if I didn't suck, but still.
Yeah, plasma beam does this good damage. If you can bomb the normal rock phase, not the blue rock phase, it'll instantly move it to the blue rock phase.
That's...
And certain, if you min-max power bomb usage here, you can instantly destroy 3 of the rocks.
Wow. That's wild that your standard bomb does that, though.
Yeah, not really sure why.
Did I get it?
Yeah.
Oh, it felt good, yeah.
It's pretty easy if you just lay it in the path and move out.
See, you see what that was?
I don't even know if the bomb has to explode. I think it just has to touch the area of the rock.
That's wild. Did you see what he did there? Like, I was like, oh, I feel so good. I'm so proud of what I just did. And Elias was like, yeah, it's pretty easy. Let me have this, okay?
You did great, Jacob.
Thank you. It means a lot, man. Okay, so in your opinion, right? Like, without thinking about it too hard, just knee-jerk reaction answer. Hardest Metroid game, not counting the original 2 in their original forms.
Hardest Metroid game?
Yeah. I really gave him something to think about. Look at that.
Maybe Dread?
Ooh. Wow. Okay.
But it's weird for me to think about that, right? Because there are some Metroid games that I played discovering Metroid when I was younger. I knew a lot less about mechanics and gameplay, all that stuff, right? Then Metroid games that came out later, I was a Metroid expert by then, and knew the drill and had played a lot of games and stuff, right? I lean towards Metroid Dread because I think about the final boss in particular, right?
Ooh, yeah.
No matter how much Metroid you've played or how used to the Dread controls are, you walk up to that final boss for the first time and you just instantly die. There's no getting around it. You learn to survive long enough in that boss fight to learn the attack patterns eventually and just iterate over and over until you can beat it, which is it's a really good final boss fight.
I absolutely agree with that.
But yeah, stuff like that, and there were a couple of other hard bosses there, I think, that make me skew Dread. I was also thinking about Samus Returns a little bit,
The
but that
3DS
was
remake
more, yeah.
Mm.
But that was more of the difficultiness came with some. The controls were good for 3DS, but it was still on 3DS, so that's I think where some of that comes from.
Sure.
Yeah. Maybe some bosses in a game like Zero Mission, as I've come to discover for some friends.
Ooh. Okay, interesting.
Particularly Mother Brain. That's probably not a spoiler at this point.
Yeah, no. I'm trying to think, actually. Okay, hang on. Is this is the right way to go?
Yeah, so at this point, you're just kind of supposed to take the spider ball and use it everywhere you've seen it. The next thing we're going to get is Ice Beam.
Okay. I think I know where that is. Maybe. But I can't get the items over there until I have grapple, right?
Not unless you go fast.
Unless I go fast. That sounds scary.
Not unless you use scan visor and there's a movement system.
Ah, gotcha. That is not something I am capable of doing. I
That
find
in
it really
particular,
fascinating.
I'm not as consistent at it lately.
Well, what's over there anyway? Is it worth it?
I think it's like a missile. I don't know.
Magmore Caverns, but then there's this. Oh, but it requires an ice door. Never mind. I just saw it on the map.
Yup.
Okay, back to Magmore.
It spits you out here and be like, oh, look, an ice door. If only you had the ice beam.
Subtle.
The player will remember that.
The player will not. Oh, man. Like, the subtle clues like that, I'll pick up on them when it's too late. Like, after I get Ice Beam, I'll be like, oh, yeah! Hey! Save point. Lovely.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, I want to do that again. That's hot.
Literally. You ever use the thermal visor in Magmore Caverns?
Yo. So maybe not this room, but I assume rooms where you would normally take heat damage have that. Like right before I walked in here, it was very orange.
Yeah. And this one in particular is a non-heated room, right? So if you could somehow get here without the Very suit, you would not be taking damage, except from, you know, all the pirates attacking you.
Yeah. Oh, God, they're assholes. I do find it interesting that this game uses the wave beam as an elemental beam rather than a...
I mean, all of them do. Ice Beam has always kind of been elemental, but Plasma and Wave were more property-based.
Yeah, there's the term,
based.
property-based. Yeah, where it's like piercing or elongation of the beam and stuff like that. This puzzle's for an energy tank, right?
Yep. Takes a little while, though.
Yeah, I don't think I want to. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but that way, the door that's over that way is to the back of mines, but you need power bombs?
Uh-huh.
Okay, cool.
Big old Bendesium
Ugh.
pile blocking the path.
That's wild, though. Like, what kind of material is so strong that it can take super missiles and just... Anyway, I'm thinking about it. What do you think? Oh, I need Ice Beam anyway. I can't. Never mind.
Yeah.
Could after I get Ice Beam, though, right?
I think we were looking at this room for the last time we were in Magmore, and we were just like, we will not do it.
But Plasma Beam, mate. Also, I think this is a really strange place to put the Plasma Beam. Like, maybe that's just me, but, like... I don't know.
I found...
It's almost like... The Ice Beam, you know, that it's in a relatively similar place. Just kind of, like, in an area you've kind of sort of been, sort of-ish. So, it shouldn't really feel any different. And yet, whenever I think of the Plasma Beam, you know, the ultimate weapon of the game, and it's just like, yeah, it's in Magmore, whatever. It's like, okay.
I think the Ice Beam's just in Chozo, whatever. The only beam that's blocked by any kind of boss is the Wave Beam.
It's so wild to me. I'll be honest, I don't know if I'm going the right way. I'm kind of just...
There were only so many bosses and mini-bosses. You had to kind of choose what
True.
Have as items.
This is the part where I say I totally remembered that this was the room with the spider ball track, but that is a lie. I just got lucky that I walked in here in ball form. Well, I guess I rolled in here in ball form. Oh, this is where you do the jump, but we came through the room backwards. Oh, this is so weird seeing it like this. Like, not cheating.
Seeing it intended?
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy.
We activated this? No, okay. Might as well. Talon Overworld West. I don't know if that's important. Is that important, or should I keep going this way?
I mean, it's just another route to Talon and surrounding areas.
We're supposed to be headed to Chozo Ruins, yeah?
Mhm.
Ow. I had Molasses like go back and check our like our audio from the first episode's recording. She's like, the game's just a little loud, so this time I have it quieter, and I can already feel Molasses going, you turned it down too much, dipshit.
I look forward to the wild inconsistencies.
Well, if my audio equipment wasn't like forced to be set up the way that it is, it would be a lot easier, right? Because I would have you as a separate input, me as a separate input, and the game as a separate input, which would be the smart way to do it, right? But unfortunately, with the way my audio stuff has to connect to my computer, it's all one thing. So if she increases the game volume manually, it increases both of us as well. So I hate it. It's like the only way that it works.
In terms of recording audio tracks?
Just like audio in general, like at all on my computer. It's all the same thing. So like the game, me, and you, and any like Windows alerts or anything, it's all just one audio feed, which is not what I want at all, but like it's the only way I could get my audio equipment to work.
I would suggest different audio equipment.
Yeah, I'll upgrade it later. Money. It's Christmas time. Spoiler alert for when we recorded this, it's Christmas time. And so that's an interesting thing. Hey, let's not talk about Metroid for a minute while I just like totally talk about this. As a content creator, or rather as a content creator whose sole source of income is their content, the cash flow is backwards from everyone else. Because when everybody else spends money, like, you know, the holidays come around, right? And people are like, oh, we've saved up for this and we're buying presents for blah, 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 blah. Well, that means the opposite for me because of just the nature of how the content creation ends up working, right? So it's always been a weird thing for me because, like, you know, back when I worked at GameStop for like 7 or 8 years, and I'd get my paycheck and save up for like Christmas and stuff, and Christmas would come around, I'm like, yay, I saved up. And then as a content creator, it's like, oh, it's Christmas. There goes my income. It's kind of a strange thing. We've already done this, haven't we? No, we haven't. All right, cool. I'm going to grab this.
We would have if we had taken the speedrun route, but intended route, you kind of have to just get this whenever you remember or come across it.
I remembered it. Yay. So, first time I played through this game, I thought the artifact stuff was really dumb, but on subsequent playthroughs, I kind of like it. Just a little, though.
It's not as bad as it could be.
Yeah,
as
Prime 2.
Prime 2 shows in full display.
It almost feels like one of those things where you're rewarded in subsequent playthroughs by being able to, like, oh yeah, this is where that thing is, instead of, you know, having to scour the map and, like, yeah, sure, you get some hints, but, like, even then, you know.
Yeah, that said, though, you look at how the game flows now, and for first playthroughs, like, it's still a little tedious.
Yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, that's Ventrana, that's big. I'm really starting to think we took the wrong way. Oh! Wait, can we do the Flagra artifact now?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I think that's where we need to go then. It feels like the right thing to do.
Why not?
What am I doing? Okay. Ooh, wow. Muscle memory kicked in there and was just like, yeah. I hate these little things. They deal what seems like so much damage.
Yeah, so if you shoot them and their shrapnel hits you, they do a lot of damage.
Oh, so
but
it's
if
not
you
the
just
gas
run
cloud.
right into them or run through their gas cloud, it's not nearly as much.
So the crazy damage comes from the shrapnel.
Yeah.
But, well, that one didn't shrapnel. Is it RNG as to whether they shrapnel?
Well, it's just you weren't close enough to get hit by it.
Well, even still, like, some of them I would shoot and I would still see it, yeah?
Oh,
Oh,
well,
not on that
if
one.
you're close enough, you'll always get the shrapnel damage.
Ah, yeah, I see
whether
there.
you see it or not.
Interesting. That's wild.
The force of the explosion and all the pressure that was inside.
Getting all sciencey on me here. All right. Up and over. Good. I love never ever having to solve this room ever. Like,
I mean, it's not even a puzzle. You just have to. In fact, it's the speed run. You have the space jump boots for the whole game, right? But
sure.
for that room, it's slightly faster to just roll along the outside underneath.
Is it?
Yeah, because space jump boots is a lot easier, but you have to jump over, and you're worried about getting height instead of forward distance. And if you morph well, you can just morph and just roll straight through and morph.
Wow. And
It's
the
a little
things you
faster.
learn.
I don't usually do it, but it is faster.
I feel like it is one of those like tiny optimizations, right? Like it probably saves you less than a second.
It maybe about a second actually, but it's also not that difficult if you just commit to it, because
Yeah.
it's one of those things where if you come into the room and you're moving and you instantly morph and go to the right spot, those things are not going to be in a position to mess up your day, right?
Interesting. So if they were on like a global timer, so to speak, to where they always spawn in the exact same spot, and that spot was in your way, that would make it to where it would be faster to use space jump boots then, probably.
Maybe if that was a little more RNG when you enter the room, yeah.
Interesting. So
Unless,
speaking,
yeah, I don't know.
speaking of like the Metroid Prime speedrun, what's your personal best?
I'm actually not on the leaderboard.
Interesting. Is there a reason?
So in order to get a legitimate run, right, you have to play on disc. It can be on a Wii or a GameCube, doesn't matter.
Okay.
And that's like the primary rule. Like all the emulators have like very very slight variations in like load times and stuff
Oh, sure.
from the disc version, so they don't allow emulation. And that includes on console. Well, those aren't emulators, but on console, like Nintendo, isn't allowed, right? And so for a while, I had a Wii that the disc reader was broken, right? Clutch wasp. I had a Wii, the disc reader's broken, right? So if I wanted to play any disc games, right, I had to load them digitally through my homebrew setup. But I could have played this on GameCube. The thing is, right, in the speed run, you'll want to be able to do things on the 1.0 disc.
Sure, like the missiles and such.
Right. And part of what they patched in the 1.0 disc was some specific crash scenarios that happen on GameCube, but do not happen on Wii because of Wii firmware error handling or something like that.
Oh, okay.
So typically, you always want to play the 1.0 disc on a Wii to speedrun this, right?
Makes sense.
Which wasn't possible for me until I bothered to get a new Wii that could read discs. And so the time where I was, speedrunning mostly for other reasons, right? Just to either, prepare for a marathon or just to practice tricks for randomizer tournaments or whatever. They were just automatically ineligible runs, right? Because the way I was playing. Outside of, preview was to come. Outside of that, like in recent years, I just haven't, I know I'm fast enough. I know what I'm doing. I have no, I feel no need to prove to other people.
You just do it for yourself.
Enough to want to just do it for the sole purpose of having a run on the board. It is kind of funny though, because I watched back a recent randomizer tournament commentary where my first match was up against a guy who's very fast at this game. It's like really, really fast speedrunner. He didn't know randomizer logic very well, right? So I ended up beating him. The commentator, who was not familiar with me at all, was like, go figure that some guy who's not even on the leaderboard ends up beating the top runner because of randomizer, right? That made me laugh and made me think maybe I should stay off the leaderboard for stuff like that.
That's fantastic. Now, I assume though that while you haven't submitted a time, you have a PB.
I maybe have an in-game PB somewhere. Um, I guess I could check. I don't think I ever. I might have started setting up splits for this game for me, but I don't know if I ever ran through it. Let's take a look.
Are you supposed to have X-ray visor here, or
It certainly helps, but you don't need it.
you just gotta wait for him to quit being assholes? Hey, I got him. And while
unless
Elias
you know how
digs
to
for that
block 'em.
data on his speedrun time, I'm gonna grab this artifact, and then we're gonna take a break because that's a pretty meaty episode. So, thank you guys for watching, and we're gonna continue more Metroid Prime next time. So, yeah, have that data next time, Elias. It's gonna be great.
Okay.